Hello, everybody. We're going to get started here in just a few minutes. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. Just sit tight and we'll give it a few minutes for people to jump on. All right, welcome, everyone. We're going to get started here in just a minute or so. We'll give it another few seconds for people to join us. So thanks for joining us again on the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with Pow Group. Just sit tight and we'll get started in a few seconds. All right, we're going to get into it. Just give it another 20 seconds or so. See, we got some people joining us, so I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. Afternoon, morning, wherever you're tuning in from. Just going to have one drink of water and then we'll jump right into it. All right, howdy there, traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap. Today is Tuesday, March 23rd, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing the overall broader market. We'll talk about some key support levels that are on deck for tomorrow, and whether or not we could be seeing the calm before the storm, so to speak, going into tomorrow, because it certainly was a bleak afternoon and some selling pressure going into the end of the day. So before we jump in, make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this market perspective and format on the overall stock market. So we saw that Powell and Yellen agree on valuations and that the market may be high, but they are not worried about long-term stability. They also mentioned that tax hikes are the next big investor worry, and then we saw some more information on that. The wealth tax, estate tax, capital gains. Here's how the Democrats want to tax the super rich. So that likely attributed to the weakness in QQQ. This is something that we've been calling out for a while now and that a lot of people have gone sleeping on. The reason why I think that the tech sector is so weak lately after leading us all the way up on this whole bull market for the last year is because these new political changes and these new rules and laws that are going to be implemented, and also just the overall crackdown on big tech, I think it's only going to intensify. And you can check out this full article, but essentially we could be seeing higher capital gains tax. So for traders and investors, that means less return because you're having to, pay more in capital gains. We could see less returns in the S&P 500. So I think there was a number about 9% that it would eat into the earnings. And obviously that would affect dividends and things like that. So we need to don't go sleeping on the political changes that could target big tech and the super rich, because that could have a huge impact on the market valuation going forward. We also saw that Pfizer begins its early stage clinical trial testing oral antiviral for the situation that we have at hand. So we'll see if there's any developments on that front. We also saw U.S. stocks trade mixed as oil tumbles and bonds gain. White House officials met with energy industry executives ahead of climate infrastructure plans, sources say. So another thing we need to keep in mind before we look at the crypto market here, we could see some added pressure to the sell side if we start to see, keep in mind that we just rejoined Biden rejoined the Paris Climate Accord. So we could see more push toward a greener, the Green New Deal, a greener economy. And I'm just curious how that's going to line up with crypto and Bitcoin, because we're seeing a lot of narrative lately that Bitcoin is an energy hog, it is not climate friendly, and we could see some political and some government pressure there on possible seeing a thing. Amazon hires former executive Adam Selipsky to run AWS. Cool. Not super concerned about that, but we'll move on. Microsoft is reportedly in talks to acquire messaging platform Discord for more than $10 billion. So we remember that Salesforce purchased Slack, and it's pretty fitting in my opinion. I haven't read this article, but you can check it out on your own time. But pretty fitting in my opinion. Discord's more of a gamer, type product and chat, and Microsoft was in talks to potentially buy Slack, and that deal didn't go through as planned, and now they're looking at potentially purchasing Discord, which would line up well with their Xbox and their gaming department, if you will. So that's pretty much all we had in terms of news and events. So we'll look at the overall crypto market. So we are consolidating pretty much across the board, but we've had a nice recovery here off the lows. So from this morning, Bitcoin actually confirmed a daily downtrend with a loss of 53,221. If you tuned into yesterday's video, I mentioned to be on the lookout for that. And if you didn't see yesterday's video, make sure to tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future updates. But we didn't break that significantly. So yes, you could say we changed the daily trend to a downtrend, which is a huge momentum shift coming off a new all-time high. We need to be cautious here, though, because we could be setting daily downtrends. We could be topping out here, and it's been a while. It's been a minute since we saw some significant consolidation on Bitcoin. So in my opinion, we need to lose the low of 53,000. We got about 3.5 hours left of this daily candle. So if we lose 53,000 from here, we're likely heading down to our previous daily support around 46,000. But again, if we have a daily inside bar tomorrow, that would be best case scenario at this point for bulls by the looks of it, and then look to break bullish out of there and save this daily downtrend confirming. But if we have a daily inside bar, we go straight into a lower low from here and we break 53,000. If we go sub 53,000, then I am very bearish on Bitcoin. On the weekly time frame, we have a weekly inside bar, so that is going to be key here as well. So again, we confirmed a daily downtrend, but we still have yet to break the low of the previous weekly candle. Well, we did, but just not, it's still essentially an inside bar, right? So we saw that follow through, but only $200 on 53,000. That's nothing, right? So it's essentially still a weekly inside bar. We need to see that follow through. And if we do see that follow through, we have EMA 12 sitting here at around 46,000 as well, which lines up well with our daily support level. So that's a level that I'm going to be highly targeting, 46,000 on Bitcoin if we see further consolidation. So looking at SPY and the overall broader market, SPY has some key support levels coming into play, and you can't help but wonder whether or not this is the calm before the storm. Remember how quickly things can change. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were down at 371. Everybody thought, the world was ending. And here we go, straight V-shaped recovery into a new all-time high. We had a couple of higher lows there and a bull flag, but we weren't really 100% convinced that this move was for real because of that support level. And we knew that we were likely going to anticipate significant daily consolidation at some point, because of how hard we had run and how some individual names ran 90, 80, 50%. So when we topped out here, we went straight into a new all-time high. As soon as we lost the low here of this daily candle, we started daily consolidation, and we've been pulling back. We lost our support that we had, which wasn't very strong. Again, we didn't see enough of a pullback there to be confident in that support. We pulled straight back, lost that support, and now here we are on the flip side. That's how quickly things can change. We were looking for daily higher lows and in a daily uptrend. Now here we are looking at potential daily lower highs and daily downtrend in play tomorrow. So if SPY, the S&P 500, loses 387.15 going into tomorrow, that's a daily downtrend. Keep in mind the dividend was paid out as well, so you can track SPX for a little bit more clear levels, or you can use the futures chart as well. So I'd be watching the futures chart going into tomorrow, but we have the low here at 388. It looks like 3888. So if we lose that, we confirm a daily downtrend and a lack of support all the way down to 372. So just keep in mind, things can change in a hurry. And yeah, it was great on the way up, but things can move up. Things can fall just as fast, if not faster, than they go up. And that tends to be the case. Usually we see a slow and steady grind up, or a slow staircase, stair step up, and then we see a waterfall down. So just make sure that you're prepared. I know a lot of people weren't prepared for this today, and I was calling it out yesterday in my video. I mentioned that I took a short on QQQ, and I'll go over that short again. I actually added to it today, and I'm still swinging that short. So the reason why I entered short on QQQ is we lost the 10-week moving average. We formed a bit of an upper wick here, and then we got above it, and then closed back below it at the end of the week. A little bit of another red flag, and then we had an upper wick again, and now look, we're again testing that 10-week moving average. We got as high as 321.09, and the 10-week moving average is at 320.38. So the 50-day moving average also gave me confidence in shorting at that level. We were back testing the 50-day. Actually, we were back testing the 100-day, confirming support. Now we're looking at potential daily lower highs, and what better place to be topping out at the 10-week moving average and the 50-day moving average now acting as resistance. The 50-day at 320.69. So I took a short yesterday on QQQ, and I'll just zoom in here and go over that really, really quickly here. So yesterday I took a short on QQQ. We knew to be looking at 320 for the 10-week moving average and the 50-day moving average. So we had that huge move, right? That massive day yesterday, and a lack of support on the 15-minute. And I was, we had a gap. We had no support on the 15-minute. We had the 50-day moving average, the 10-week moving average acting as resistance. And then we even had a double top essentially here at 320.74, 320.64. So I entered on that double top with my stop at 321, just above 321. And again, high of the day, double top. We had the 10-week moving average. We had the 50-day moving average, tons of resistance. And we knew to be we lost weekly support on QQQ. We knew to just be expecting daily lower highs. And sure enough, we started 15-minute consolidation. And then we saw significant follow through today. But we'll go over today's trade. So I added to it today. So I had my stop at, I allowed quite a bit of wiggle room. I think I set it at 321.30. I'd have to check it again. It was like 321.30 or 321.25. And I actually added to that position today at 320, just before we hit 321. And then we got to 321.09. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't, a little concerned at that point. But again, we went straight from a low of the day to the high of the day, into the low of the day. Again, we had a double bottom, straight V-shaped recovery into a new high of the day. And it was just volatility was picking up. I wasn't convinced. We still hadn't, formed any real support. And we just faded it all again. And then we just rejected from there. And I knew to be looking out for that. So they usually don't make it easy, right? They don't just, we back tested. We tested the 10-week. And the 50-day, we're going down, right? No, they don't make it that easy. And today was a clear example of that. They chop it around. They fake people out. It's very, very unclear. But again, it's very easy to get chopped up and confused. But if you just step back and you take a look at it from the most likely scenario, I mean, the 10-week moving average was clearly resistance. The 50-day moving average was resistance the last time. Then we lost it, came down, test the 100. What's the most likely scenario? A lower high and 50-day moving average resistance. And then again, QQQ has been weaker. Why did I short QQQ versus SPY? Because it's been weaker. How do we know it's been weaker? Because we lost weekly support. We're no longer in a weekly uptrend. Also, we have key weekly support coming into play and a potential weekly downtrend. So if we lose 297.45, that confirms a weekly downtrend, the first time for over a year on this huge, huge bull move. So we need to be cautious. And if you think the market was bloody before, on this drop to 297, what's going to happen when we confirm a weekly downtrend? Fear can pick up pretty quickly, and I strongly encourage you to rethink your current situation. Again, this isn't financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. But personally, I'm holding a lot of cash. I'm net short, so I'm holding more short than I am long positions. And I'm shorting QQQ the most with SQQQ, which is a 3x inverse bear ETF. So I'm using SQQQ, and we're seeing some decent volume come into SQQQ here in the last couple of weeks as well. And we're starting to see a little bit of momentum pick up again. And we could be setting our daily higher lows here. And we'll want to break above resistance here at 1452. If we break above 1452, we confirm a daily uptrend. And again, QQQ is potentially going to confirm a daily downtrend. So we'll be looking for the opposite, and we'll be watching weekly support. We have these upper wicks forming as well. We had increasing bear volume. We'll want to see increasing bear volume into tomorrow. And burden of proof tomorrow is going to be on the bears. We need to see bear follow through. We need to break the low of today tomorrow to see daily consolidation. And then we'll be looking down here to support at 309.66. If we lose that, we confirm a daily downtrend, and then we'll be looking down to weekly support at 297.45. If we lose that weekly downtrend, I can't stress enough how important the tech sector chart and the QQQ chart is going to be going forward. DXY, the dollar, so the dollar is coming up on its weekly resistance at 92.50. If we break 92.50, that's a weekly higher high, and we continue that weekly uptrend. We could even be lining up with an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, so that could mean that we could see further upside from here. And then our next weekly resistance was 94.30, and that also lines up well here with EMA 12 and EMA 26. 94.52 is EMA 26, so I would expect to move up to about 94 if we break above resistance at 92.50. But this is not what you want to see. If you're a bull in the stock market, you do not want to see the US dollar, DXY, the US dollar currency index, break to a higher high on the weekly. You want to see weakness. Doesn't mean that the dollar can't go up and stocks can't go up at the same time. It's just the most likely scenario is if we see the dollar go up, that generally means that people are selling out of crypto and metals or assets and, securities like stocks, and potentially de-risking a little bit. IWM just getting crushed. So this is starting to remind me a little bit of what it was like a year ago. Remember when all the sectors were at the lows at the same time? We came off all-time highs. I mean, IWM down almost 4% today. QQQ held up well, but again, we need to see follow through tomorrow, but we saw rotation into QQQ. It's been very evident. SMH started daily consolidation, and they've been pretty much in tandem with one another. So that's a little bit of a clue that we could see daily consolidation on the tech sector tomorrow, as well as those two have been very correlated, the semiconductor and the tech sector, with good reason. Basically one and the same. SPY, daily consolidation again, support at 387.15. 10, solar sector down over 3%. Oil down over 6% today, confirming its daily bear flag. Oil is what caused the weakness before, and we knew to be cautious here on the energy sector, as we hadn't formed any weekly support from $33. We essentially ran 100%, over 100%, and we didn't form any weekly support. So, and we're looking to potentially close below EMA 12. We could be heading down here to the $52 area. So if you are playing any energy names in the energy sector, energy stocks, this is not looking good. This is not what you want to see. We're currently at the low of the day, likely heading to daily oversold. So daily oversold bounce could be underway here in the next day or so. Got a little over an hour left in that candle. So silver was weak today. We knew that. We've been calling that out for a while, that it's been a lot weaker than gold. We lost daily support here, so we rejected at EMA 26. We started to pull back. That was red flag number one. We had daily support here at 25.38. We lost that, and that's when we lost the daily uptrend, and now we're back scouting a daily higher low compared to 24.83. But definitely weaker than gold. Gold's still in a daily uptrend. So, but we have to be cautious here, though, as silver's pulling back and losing its daily uptrend. What are the odds that if the market pulls back, like the S&P 500, the tech sector, that's likely going to hurt gold as well? Again, doesn't mean it has to go down with the market. It's just something that we keep an eye out for. But gold, notably strong. We have daily support. We have a mini level here at 17.19, which we have yet to lose. And then after that, key support at 16.99. If we lose 16.99, we lose the daily uptrend. And then we're back to scouting a daily higher low compared to 16.76, which is weekly support. So gold standing out. XBI just got absolutely crushed today, down almost 6%. I guess it was down 6% at one point. So again, we're starting to see volatility pick up. Now we're in a daily downtrend on the biotech sector with a lower high into a lower low. And again, that's how quickly things can change. We had a huge move, topped out at the EMAs. We were, okay, bulls got tons of room to form a daily higher low. No problem. We got this. We're changing the daily trend. We're changing the daily trend. Oh, bulls get rejected. Bears step in, and here we are, a lower high into a lower low. That's how quickly things can change. We were just looking, just yesterday, we thought that we were going to be confirming a daily uptrend, and now here we are, complete 180, lower high, lower low with follow through, weekly consolidation underway, weekly bear flag potential. We lost the weekly uptrend on the biotech sector. We lost the weekly uptrend on the tech sector. If you're starting to see the common theme here, the common theme is weakness. And this could be the calm before the storm. I hope I'm wrong, but my portfolio is positioned accordingly. Like I said, I've got a lot of positions short. I'm net short, but that doesn't mean I'm not holding any longs. XLE down almost 1.5% today. Not surprising with the weakness in oil, but lower high every candle here since 54.37. So as soon as we break the high of the previous daily candle, we'll expect the daily bounce to be underway at that point. But XLE, XLF, notable weakness. And if we see further weakness in the financials and the energy sector tomorrow, along with the tech sector, that could be a recipe for disaster, as we've been seeing a ton of rotation going on between those three sectors. So we see tech sector strong one day, next day financials are strong and tech is weak, and then vice versa. And look at that volume starting to come in on XLF. XLV, the healthcare sector, holding up relatively well. But again, all sectors pulling back, closed down over 1%. Still hasn't started its daily consolidation yet. And a long ways away before it confirms a daily downtrend. Or sorry, a daily uptrend at this point. So we need to break above the highs here at 115.75. And we're not 100% convinced, right? With the whole market pulling back, the most likely scenario is that we see further daily consolidation. We're just looking for a daily higher low still, but a long ways away down at 109.93. So we'll take a look at some individual tickers here. On the bear list, we had AMC, Riot, DDD, GME. So Riot and AMC took it on the chin today. Zoom, MVMD, and Netflix led the move higher today. Costco, Amazon had some notable strength, in Google, Microsoft as well. So Apple was standing out as the lead bear today in the tech sector. Tesla closed down over 1%. NIO is weak, almost 5% at one point. Decline today. So EV sector is still struggling. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys today in terms of the overall broader market. We're still seeing weakness in big tech, and Apple potentially setting its daily lower high and topping out at EMA 26. It's a potential head and shoulders here as well. See what usually it's at the top of uptrends though. So I wouldn't really consider that. Usually Head and Shoulders is a bearish reversal pattern. And this is at the bottom of a downtrend. So it's not your clear Head and Shoulders, but the ideas and psychology is still there. So we'll be watching it. But we have support here, key support at 119.16. After that, 116.21, and I believe that is weekly support. So it is 116.21. So again, Apple could be a weekly bear flag here. And if we lose 116.21, that's going to confirm a weekly downtrend, and that would be notable. We have earnings coming up here first week of May. It's a little ways away yet. But we'll just take a look at SPY here, see how we're doing after hours. And I'll give it a couple seconds here. If anybody has any questions or any tickers, I'll open the floor here now. But SPY 389.90, so it is bouncing a little bit here in the after hours. And QQQ bouncing a bit here as well, but not really seeing much. You're welcome, Renee. All right, we're going to end it there. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap. Again, in summary, we have key daily support coming into play on the S&P 500 tomorrow, and we could be confirming daily downtrends. And we have key weekly support coming into play on the Qs, and we could be setting weekly downtrends there as well. So just make sure that you are prepared for all scenarios. And if you think there was a lot of blood in the market today or recently over the last month or so, just keep in mind that, in my opinion, I don't think we've seen anything yet, and this could just be the calm before the storm. So make sure you hedge, do what you got to do to make yourself sleep at night. I see we had a quick request come in there, so we'll just take a look. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's, what are you going to be able to do to help you sleep at night? And I know I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight because of the fact that my position, I'm long, but I'm net short, but I'm still holding cash. So generally, I just want my account to stay around the same until we get some clear indication on direction of where we're going. So Maxar, daily bear flag, looks like it's following through. We had support at 46.48. We had a low of 45.96. So we are confirming a daily bear flag and daily downtrend continuation. So I'd be cautious on this name. We do have a daily support level here at $42.50 and $42. So this daily bear flag, if we see follow through tomorrow, that would bring us down. It could bring us under $40. So usually you just take the pole on the way down and you can extrapolate that out. That would bring us down under $40. So watch for a potential flush of 40. We have support at $34 as well. So it's entirely possible that we lose $40 here if we can see further weakness into tomorrow. And just looking for this weekly chart to bottom out. We're losing the EMAs, and we have no real weekly support down until 27.45. Looks like we have earnings coming up second week of May. So that'll be a long ways out. But we need to confirm a daily uptrend ASAP to be confident that these weekly lows are in. And again, lack of support here really down until 27.45 on the weekly. So we need to be cautious. Again, what's going to happen if the S&P 500 confirms a weekly downtrend? We're in a weekly downtrend here with the high, low, lower high, and lower low. Another lower high into a lower low. Another lower high into a lower low. So the clear weekly downtrend, monthly consolidation. We have no monthly support down to 27.45 as well. We have the EMA 12 sitting at 39.16. So I could see $40 if you're looking for an entry. I'm not sure if you're already in or not, but I'd probably look for start to scale in around, the 42s, the 40s, and maybe a third order underneath $40 if I were long on the stock. But I'd definitely be setting a stop and playing off of those support levels. So hopefully that helps. Did you add some Hexo? Yeah, I did. I'm going to do another video here shortly as well on the MJ sector. But I did add 2 Hexo today. I also had an order for 661. It didn't fill on the US side. But I was quite impressed with MJ actually in light of everything that was going on with all the sectors pulling back. But like I said, that's been my focus, is the MJ sector. And I think that again was evident today. We didn't see a whole lot of downside in MJ. I mean, obviously we saw daily consolidation and further downside, but held up relatively well. Just taking a quick peek here. So we're only down, 3, 5, not even really double digits here. Need to be cautious on US MJ though, but no real significant downside, for the most part across the board. BAM just getting absolutely wrecked here today though, down to 66, down 8%. Might have to add some of that. Monthly consolidation underway. May add to that position tomorrow. Yeah, I did add on Hexo, looking for inverse head and shoulders. On the daily, we had support at 660. And now that you mentioned that, a nice day trade today too. Look at the low. It's support at 660. We hit 662. So you could have entered at 662 with a stop under 660, say, 657, 658. And you would never have gotten stopped out, and you would have seen over a 5% move there. So decent day trade on Hexo off that support. Any opinions on the pharmaceutical sector? Yeah, it's not looking too good. So if we look at, if we just go over here. So if we look at the healthcare sector, didn't start its daily consolidation yet. So we have a daily inside bar. So we'll be watching that tomorrow. Biotech, daily downtrend confirmed. So the big pharma companies, just take a look at Pfizer. So still weak, and it broke the low of yesterday. Let's take a look at like Johnson & Johnson. So we broke out today to a higher high, so that's notable. Or we broke to a new high, broke the high of yesterday. But just looking for daily higher lows, and we have resistance up at 160, 168. So yeah, notable that we're stronger here and kind of going against the trend, right, against the market. But saw an upper wick into the end of the day, just zooming in. So again, didn't get spared with the market, but some solid volume coming in there into the end of the day as well. So something looks to be up with J&J. But yeah, in terms of pharmaceutical sector, it's really going to be up to the S&P 500 and the tech sector, in my opinion. I'd say it's probably going to depend most on those. If we see significant weakness on those 2 sectors, then we're likely going to see other sectors follow suit. Obviously, some can be stronger and weaker than others, but the pharmaceutical sector, I'm pretty much neutral. But I'd be watching the overall broader market, like the S&P 500, as that should give us a general direction. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm learning now, starting to build cash position, try to get those dips. Absolutely. FOMO's a powerful thing. Yeah, around $6. I like Hexo. Again, I've been averaging down since about $7 US. So I entered just under $7. I entered again at around 680, and now I have a order in for 661. And we could potentially see further consolidation below that. So I'm not going to go all in or anything like that. I'll certainly be scaling in. So regeneration NASDAQ. Yeah, so they, again, even if they release good news, they did break to a new high today, so the daily bounce was underway, but then we saw weakness. So if I zoom into the end of the day here, I would assume, yeah, we just straight off a, wow, a nasty reversal. So again, I wouldn't say that it necessarily has to do with the stock itself. It's just succumbing to the market weakness, right? It's not immune to the market weakness, so it's just adhering to what the broader market is doing, and again, didn't get spared there into the end of the day. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. I mean, obviously we're seeing some significant sell pressure here and could be potentially topping out at the EMA 26, but got lots of room here to form a 5-minute higher low and higher high and attempt a daily trend or a 5-minute trend change. And then we'll zoom out to the hourly. We've got an hourly inside bar on watch tomorrow. But if we can confirm a 5-minute hourly or a 5-minute uptrend, the hourly higher low is likely set. And then we'll look to break the hourly lower high pattern, start the hourly bounce, and then we'll look to change the hourly trend from there. And at this point, we're still in a daily uptrend with a low, high, higher low, higher high. Now just looking for a higher low. I could say here that we had the low. It's not super clear. I'd still consider this just looking for a daily higher low, but we have key support here at 463.65. So if we do see further consolidation tomorrow or into the end of the week, I'd be watching 463.65 as we have a lack of support after that until 441. And I'm just kind of giving you, if you give me a ticker, I'll just kind of give you what, I see, an unbiased opinion, which, isn't necessarily a bad thing. But if you want a little bit more tailored response, maybe just let me know where you bought it at, that type of thing. Are you long? Was your plan to hold long term? Are you looking to short? Are you looking to go long? Are you looking to add to your long position? What is your average price? That type of thing. You're welcome. And I see we got quite a few people joining us here late in the stream. So just to address you guys coming on here now, I appreciate you jumping on. We are wrapping up. So if you want to just rewind the video, you can check it out from the beginning. But essentially, I'm going to wrap things up here now and we'll summarize. So SPY has key daily support tomorrow, and we could be setting daily downtrends, and QQQ, the tech sector, could be setting weekly downtrends as well. So SPY on the verge of daily downtrends, QQQ on the verge of weekly downtrends, and SPY weekly support could come into play sooner than later as well, down at 371.88. But again, SPY's still in a weekly uptrend. So we lost the weekly uptrend on the Qs, and we could be setting weekly downtrends here on the Qs, which has been leading this whole bull market. And SPY, again, we're not going to be super concerned. We're not going to be, running for the exits just yet. But if SPY were to confirm a loss of this support, 371.88, that would lose the weekly uptrend, and then we'd be very concerned. We'd expect fear and just panic to ramp up. And this is what we need to be watching out for. And if you're not really sure, consider checking us out at palgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com. Join our group, and this is literally all we do day in, day out. We do private member live streams as well. And if you have any tickers or any requests throughout the day, I can get sort of that personalized, support, on-demand support, if you will. So we'll be watching key daily support on the S&P 500 and potential weekly support as well on SPY and QQQ, and potential daily and weekly downtrends confirming. Lots of fun. So make sure to prepare going into the end of the week. Make sure to do whatever you got to do. Like I said, whatever helps you sleep at night, whether that means holding more cash, taking a short position, whatever you got to do to help you sleep at night. Thanks for joining us again on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap. We'll see you a little bit later on today for an MJ sector review. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk